welcome back to my channel. If you don't already know me, my name is Kara and I applied to dental school this 2024-2025 cycle and got accepted into several dental schools. And so I got a lot of questions regarding what I did in undergrad and what was my extracurriculars. And so it took me a little while to make this video, so thank you for your patience. But I just wanted to make sure that this video is as thorough and provide as much details as I can. And if you clicked on this video, that means you know that dental school is not just looking at your DAT scores or your GPA, but they also looking at your letter of recommendations, your essays, and of course the most important part is your extracurriculars, your experiences, and what you did outside of classrooms. So before we get into this video, I just wanted to say that don't feel overwhelmed by everything that I do because I'm not just doing this in like a day. I have 3 years before applying to dental school, freshman, sophomore, junior of applying to dental school. So don't feel like you have to do everything that I do, and just treat this as an example because there's really no one way of getting accepted into dental school. Everybody's different, everybody's unique, and just make sure that you're doing something that you're passionate about because that would definitely show through and shine through in your application, and you would definitely be able to talk about it more meaningfully in your interviews. So I'll be dividing these into different categories, and so the first category that I want to talk about is volunteering. So volunteering is super important because obviously you want to be a dentist because you want to help people, but also dental schools want to see that you're giving back to the community, you're involved, and you're actually using your time to doing something nice for other people. And so this is some things that I really enjoy doing, and I felt like this is one of my favorite parts of undergrad. So let's take a look at what I did. I have my computer pulled up right here, so let's see what I did. I was a hospice volunteer and I do that for almost 3 years. I started as a team station, so basically like front desk and helping with anything they needed. And then I started doing patient rounds 3 months later, so going to patients' rooms, talking to the patients, their families. And then I also was a peer mentor for underrepresented students. I had 3 mentees. And I also volunteer at a lot of free dental care days. And so these are some of the events that I went. And if you guys look it up, I'm pretty sure that there's tons of information out there. So free dental care day is going to be, of course, the days that you are providing like free dental care to the populations, to the communities. And so I feel like these days are super important because I really enjoyed it because I got to meet a lot of pre-dental students, a lot of dental students, a lot of dentists, and people in the field, and I get a lot of connections. I learn a lot through them, and so I'm really grateful. There's a lot of experiences that I saw firsthand, and that really shaped me into what kind of dentist I wanted to be. And so here are some of the events that I went. I went to the Missions of Mercy, which we call it MOM. I went to the one in April 2023, that was the Mini Mom Clinic. And then I also went to the Charlotte Mini Mom Clinic in April 2024. I also went to the Mini Mom Clinic, of course, in Charlotte in October 2024, the Mom Clinic in Elkin, North Carolina, the Mom Clinic in Wilmington, North Carolina, and then I'll be going to the one in High Point. So as you can see here, I really love volunteering. I volunteer almost every single day, and even though I already got accepted, I'm still volunteering my time. And so yeah, that's just something that I love to do. I also volunteer at Dentistry with Heart. I also volunteered for the RAM Clinic, which of course the full name is Remote Area Medical Dental Clinic. I also volunteer at the Footbridge Veterans Dental Clinic back in 2023. And those are the list of my free dental care volunteering events. Other volunteering experiences include being a biology tutor at my school for almost 2 years, serving Greensboro homeless community for a year, being a university marshal for a year, and volunteer at the Center for Visual Artists Summer Camp for the summer, and volunteer as a blend friend to adults with disabilities. And I do that since like my high school. I believe it was like sophomore year of my high school. And then also volunteering as a tutor with immigrants and refugee students for now almost a year. So in total I have 837 hours of volunteering. The next category that I would like to talk about is shadowing. And shadowing is another important aspect of applying to dental school. And in fact, some dental schools require you to have specific hours of shadowing. And that makes sense because if you don't shadow them, how would you know what they do in a day? So this gives you a real exposure to the field. And so I make sure that I shadowed a lot of dentists, a lot of like specialties and in different settings. So let's see who I shadowed. So for me, I shadowed 4 general dentists, 3 peds or pediatric dentists, 2 orthodontists, endodontist, periodontist, and oral and maxillofacial surgeon. And in total, I have 357 hours of shadowing, 242 hours from general dentist. So up next is leadership. And leadership is also very important because that's one of the traits of being a good dentist. And so even though I did not have like tons of experiences or joining a clubs, but I have a very long time and committed myself into like a few things. So the first one that I do was being a founder, a president, and a team leader of VAW Global Health Alliances for Medical Chapter. I was a pre-med back then, so that's why. But yeah, I took the initiative. It shows them that I am initiative, and honestly, I'm just gonna tell you a little bit of story. But before like I come to college, right, I was like, I want to have like my own club. And so I start reaching out to people on Instagram, like a complete strangers, and just ask them like if they wanted to create a club with me. And so went through that like interviews and creating new clubs and all of that. So it shows them that I actually care and committed to this club. The next thing that I do is UNCG Dental Club social media director and vice president. And now I am the president. So that's about 2.5 years. And then I'm also serve as the ASTA, which stands for American Student Dental Association District 4 Pre-Dental Mentorship Subcommittee for a year. And so in total, I have 974 hours for leadership. As you can see, I do not have like tons of leadership positions, but for me, I rather commit to do and dedicated to do one thing rather than like doing 10 different things and not getting a good result. And so for me, I just commit one thing, do this one thing. And so that's what works for me. And I feel like that shows dental school that I'm committed to the field because dental school is not easy and it's not, it's a long journey, it's a marathon. After high school, you get to go through that bachelor's degree, you get to go through that dental school. And if you want to specialize, that's additional years of training. And so they want to see how long you can commit, how long can you work for this. And so I'm pretty sure that this numbers shows them how much I'm committed to doing the things that I do and how much I'm passionate about it. Next category is research. And research is kind of like an optional, it's not a requirement of applying to dental school. But, some schools, they actually kind of like research based. And so they're probably looking for some kind of like experiences. It's not going to harm you if you don't have research. It can only be benefiting you and make you stand out more. So for me, I was a research assistant and doing an independent research project for almost 3 years. And I was also a co-author as well. And so yeah, I have like a publication, and then I also did a summer research and senior honors project for the summer and fall semester. And I have tons of opportunities to like presenting myself at the conferences, and I really enjoy the experiences. So I highly recommend you to do research because I've learned a lot of lessons through that. I've met a lot of people, the cooperation, the collaboration, as well as having a great mentors. And so in total, I have 1,120 hours of research experience. The next experience is work experience. So for me, I was a VJ, which stands for video jockey. And so I have like a Thai live stream. I'm Thai. And so I basically have a lot of Thai users that come to see me and just talk to me. And then I just turn on my music. Sometimes I play my instrument to them. And so I do that for almost 2 years. And so it really did transform me from like becoming such an introvert and being quiet to now someone who could talk in front of people. I still don't like talking in front of people, but it made me feel more comfortable and I like talking more. And then I was also an elderly caregiver, and I did that for almost 2 years. And currently, I'm doing like a virtual tutor for Thai American students. So, yeah, that's my work experience. In this last category, I call it a unique experiences because I just felt like these are unique to me and it's going to help you or me to stand out to dental schools. And it's not a requirement, it just kind of like allows them to see who I am, my personality, and what am I outside of dentistry and just academia. So I was a STAMP scholar, and what STAMP stand for is Science, Technology, and Math Preparation Scholarships. So I'm on the scholarships for 4 years, and there's different activities, different requirements that we have to do as a scholar. I also did a DIY cat house, so do it yourself cat house. I have 2 cats, so I make sure to put that on my application. I also joined a pre-professional scholar summer experience program a week, and that was like a summer before I started my college. I'm also a full honors scholar, so basically international and disciplinary honors. So there's different courses, like additional courses that I have to take, a study abroad, and all of those requirements that I have to do to gain this full honors. And this is kind of like research, but not really. It's photo voice. And so basically what I do is taking pictures of my everyday lives and then put in a folder. And then at the end of the semester, they interview me on those pictures. And so I actually stepped up to work with those analysis and get a chance to present my results as well. I also do a Spartan Leadership Challenges. There's different levels. There's bronze, silver, and gold. And so I'm currently in gold. And for different levels, there's different requirements that we have to do. And everything is kind of like a semester long or a year long. Like gold is a year long. There's different things we have to do, like volunteering or like competition or attending workshops and all of that. Of course, YouTube channel. I've been doing that for almost 3 years as well. And I also did a positive communication and health and wellness course abroad in Ireland. I also attend a conferences back in 2023. It's called 2023 Annual AAAS STEM Scholars Meeting and 2024 STEM Scholars and PI Meeting. And so what these meetings is all about is basically I'm like a STEM scholar. And so I get nominated and selected to go to these different like conferences every year. And then there's the dentistry related events. And I highly recommend for anyone that's like have a first choice or like your number one dental school that you want to go to a lot of events that the school hold because you're gonna show your face, you're gonna show your names, and hopefully that they're gonna remember you from, from those days and then on your interviews days. So here are some of the events that I've been to. I've been to UNC Virtual Impressions Day back in spring 2023. I also did the Harvard Bridge to Dental School back in spring 2023. I also attend the UNC ASDA Bridging the Gap. I also went to UNC Impressions Day back in fall 2023. This one was in person. I also did the Harvard School of Dental Medicine Intro to Dentistry course. I also went to the VCU SNDA Impressions Day. I also do the Mini Dental School course offered by the Minnesota School of Dentistry. I also attend the Bridge to Dentistry Aspiration to Achievement, which is offered by UNC. I also participate in the ASDA District 6 Introduction to Dentistry course. I also went to the IDEA Go Dental Virtual Fair in 2023 and 2024. And I also went to the Old North State Dental Society HOPE program in 2024 and 2025, which the last video was about that. So if you want to learn more about the program, make sure to check that out. I also attend the ASDA District 1 Pre-Dental Mentorship event, the Dior Dental Clinic Interview Workshop offered by UNC, and Dior Drilling into Your Future offered by UNC. So as you can see here, I'm pretty sure you can tell what's my top choices. But these are like an annual thing. So if you are interested in any of these, I'm pretty sure that there's tons of information out there on Instagram or Google. So I'm pretty sure that you can find more information about it, or if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out in the comments. So yeah, that's a breakdown of my extracurriculars that I did in undergrad that helped me to get accepted into dental schools. So again, don't feel overwhelmed by the list that I do. Do something that you're passionate about, do something that you're interested in. I'm pretty sure that as I'm reading through my list, that you guys can see that what I'm interested in and what kind of dentist that I want to be and what school I'm interested in as well. And so I hope that you guys find this video helpful and find some value out of this video more or less, and that this video motivate and inspire and even give you some ideas of what you would like to do in your pre-dental journey. So if you have anyone that may find this video helpful, please feel free to share this to them. And if you have any questions regarding applications or any questions in this video, please feel free to leave it in a comment and I'll try to answer them as soon as I can. And I hope to do more video in the future regarding this. So thank you for watching and I hope to see you in the next video.